Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. Today is February the 8th, and here's a rundown of our day. So here is our calendar for this week in review. As you see, there's no builder because, congratulations, I'm not letting y'all have a builder because that's my gift for you because next week is winter break. So you have 13.2 is what we're going over today, adding and subtracting inequalities. So you'll need your notes. And our homework is a 13.2 worksheet. Tomorrow we're going over multiplying and dividing inequalities. Wednesday we're doing multiplying and dividing with negatives and inequalities. Thursday we're going to be doing some Google practice, Google Slides, Google Forms, an escape room, and your homework is going to be a pixelated art activity like we did a couple weeks ago where you type in your answer and then the image appears on the left. And Friday we're going to have a Prodigy iExcel day. So that gives you a rundown for today. You need to make sure that you have your notes. They look like this. Give me a moment. Look like this. And what I want you to do is I want you to cut them right here into two sections because we're going to put some stuff on. We're going to put them on both pages of our journals, and we're going to write some notes to them. Okay? So cut them in half. One is glued on one side and one is glued on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and take that on. And our first thing that we're going to do on this side, guys, is just kind of like a refresher of what we've been doing. So graphing those inequalities. Remember, graphing our inequalities and graphing equations is just slightly different. The only thing that's changing is when we are graphing inequalities, we graph on a number line. And we have an arrow drawn where our inequalities, we do not have an arrow. I mean, with our equations, we do not have an arrow drawn. So we're going to start right here. All right, let me put my scissors up, grab my pen and my marker. So today is 2/8/2021. Okay. So we have t is less than or equal to 8. So I'm going to find, just like I do graphing equations, I'm going to find where 8 is on my number line. There's 8. I'm going to put in a circle because I'm dealing with inequalities. And because it's equal to, I'm going to shade that in because it could also be equal to it. That's what that line means right there. So I'm looking for all numbers less than or equal to 8. So less than, I'm going to be going to the left. And I'm going to be drawing my arrow, meaning that that still can continue. And remember, with my variable first, my inequality symbol and my arrowhead both go in the same direction. So looking at the next one, okay, -7 is less than h. Remember, I don't like it like this. I like it flipped around where my variable is to the left. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Doesn't change anything, doesn't change the value. So h is greater than -7. And what I just did was flip it around. All right, again, I'm going to find where -7 is on my number line. I'm going to put a circle. Excuse me. I'm not going to shade it in because it's not equal to it. And I'm looking for all numbers greater than -7. So greater, I'm going to go to the right and looking at my arrowhead and my inequality symbol, they look very much the same. They're going in the same direction. So looking at my next one, x is greater than or equal to -9. So I'm going to find where -9 is on my number line. There it is. Put a circle. Because it has that equal sign, I'm going to shade it in because it means that it also could equal -9. Now x is greater than, so all numbers greater than -9 are going to the right. And you see my arrowhead and my inequality symbol are facing the same direction. Okay, the next one, n is greater than 2.5. So I'm going to find where 2.5 is on my number line. And it's between 2 and 3. I'm going to put a circle right there. I'm not shading it in because it's not equal to it. And I'm looking for all numbers greater than that. And greater, I'm going to the right. My inequality symbol and my arrowhead are facing the same direction or pointing to the same direction. And finally here we have -4.5 is greater than x. So again, like I like it flipped around where my variable is first. So I'm just going to rewrite it, x and negative 4 1/2. Okay, and I'm flipping this sign, making the point, still going to the x, and the open mouth still going to that negative 4 1/2. Does not change the value at all. It's like flipping a coin. It's the same quarter, no matter what side you look at. So I'm going to first start off by looking for negative 4 1/2. So negative 4, negative 5, negative 4 1/2 is going to fall right there. Okay, I'm not shading it in because there's no line under here. And then I'm looking for all numbers less than negative 4 1/2. Less than, I'm going left. My inequality symbol and my arrowhead is facing the same direction. All right, and guys, ways that you can check this to see if you've got it right, if you're going in the same direction, is substitute a number that arrow is going through with your variable. So let's say here, and I always like 0 because 0 is a simple number that anybody can work with. So, okay, so it goes through 0. So is 0 less than or equal to 8? Well, yes, it is. So check, yes, it's going in the right direction. I got that. So again, here, let's go. 0 is another one. So let me put 0 in here. So is 0 greater than negative 7? Yes, 0 is any number, any positive or 0 is always bigger than any negative. So check that works. I can even rearrange that to put it like the way it showed as negative, oops, kind of wrote on my tape. So is negative 7 smaller than 0? Yes, that is a true statement as well. All right. So let's look at this one. So again, I'm going to substitute a number. Well, hey, look, it went through 0. Let's check 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 9? Yes, 0 is greater than negative 9. So check that works. Okay. 2, 2.5, looking here. Okay, it can't be 2.5, but any number bigger than 2.5. Well, 0 is not. I can't use 0, but you can check it and say 0 is not bigger than 2.5, so it cannot go in this direction. So I know I'm going in the right direction, but just checking a number, say 3. Is 3 bigger than 2.5? Yes, it is. Check, that will work. All right. Now, last one. All right, x is less than negative 4.5. So if I'm looking here, let's go with this negative 6. Is negative 6 less than negative 4.5? Yes, that will work. Also, you can just plug it back into the original. Negative 4.5, is that bigger than negative 6? Yes, that one will work too. And you can even put 0. Is 0 smaller than negative 4.5? No. So there should be no line over there by 0. So that's a quick, easy way to check to see if you got it right and if your arrow is going in the right direction. So especially when you get to high school, so you'll have a lot of different types of graphing that you'll be doing, and inserting just like a 0 to see if it works is a kind of a simple step because working with zeros are pretty easy. So some key things for us to remember, so I want you to write down, is what inequalities we shade in for. So remember that we shade in for are less than or equal to, and also you're greater than or equal to. So you always want to make sure that those are shaded in. Always make sure that when your variable is first, this is very important. Variable is first. The arrowhead and the inequality symbol go in the same direction. Let's say a point in the right. Point the same direction. So that's very important. That will help you, especially like next year when you're dealing with two-step inequalities, making sure that your variable's always to the left or always first, and then your number's always to the last or to the right. And keywords for you to remember, guys, is at most or no more than. Is less than or equal to, and you'll need this on your homework tonight. You can have no more than 25 people at the party. The restaurant holds no more than 150 people. Okay? At least or no less than is greater than or equal to. When you're riding rides at an amusement park, or riding rides at a water park, normally they have a place for you to stand and measure to see how tall you are. You have to be at least this tall to ride that ride. At least. You can be no less than. You can be taller than it, but you can't be any shorter than it. And those are a lot to deal with safety measures. Okay? So let's turn our page over. Okay. Using properties of inequalities. So addition and subtraction properties of inequalities. Let me grab my highlighter right here. So you can add the same number to both sides of an inequality, and the inequality will remain true. So keep some things to keep in mind. Add the same number to both sides, and it will remain true. Kind of sounds familiar. You can subtract the same number from both sides, and the inequality will remain true. That sounds familiar, because if we go back a couple of units to 12.2 and 12.3, that was the same as our addition property. Where my 12.2 went? It's the same. I don't know where it went in this journal. All right, so let's look. So we have y minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 7. Okay, same rules apply. Okay, I need to get the variable by itself. So I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to rewrite it. Y minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 7. All right, so I need to get that y by itself. So I need to get rid of subtracting by 5. So I do the opposite, which is adding by 5. So I add by 5 on one side. I add by 5 on the other side, keeping it balanced. So then y is what I'm left with here, because this cancels out to 0. And we don't put y plus 0. We just put y. I'm bringing down my inequality symbol. And negative 7 plus 5. So I have a negative plus a positive. Well, I got to subtract. So 7 minus 5 gives me 2. I have more negative than I do positive. So it would be a negative 2. Okay? And so y is greater than or equal to negative 2. Now I'm going to graph that. So I'm going to go to negative 2. Put a circle on it. I'm going to shade it in, because it can also be equal to it. And then it's greater than, so I'm looking for all numbers to the right. I'm going to draw my arrowhead, my arrowhead. All right, and I can check this by checking any number here and putting it in the place of y. So my friendly number is 0, so I'm going to put 0. So 0 minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 7. Well, 0 minus 5 gives me a negative 5. And is negative 5 greater than or equal to negative 7? Yes, so this checks. This is a true statement. Okay, always check. I always like to check with 0. You see how easy that was? Okay, if 0 is one number, it could be, just to double check. All right, number 3. Okay, 21 is greater than 12 plus x. All right. So I'm going to show you two ways that you can do this. All right. So I have 21 is greater than 12 plus x. I need to get x by itself, so I need to subtract 12 and subtract 12. So I'm left with x on this side is less than 21 minus 12 is 9. Okay, now remember, I like my variable first, so I'm just going to flip-flop this over, which is the same as saying x is less than 9. Okay, so here, x is less than 9. Now find where 9 is on the number line. Keep it as an open circle. I'm going to draw my arrowhead to the left. And again, I can check the answers and look, my friendly 0 way over here is included. So I can look at that and substitute 0 in for for x. So 21 is greater than 12 plus 0. And 12 plus 0 is 12. And 21 is greater than 12, so that checks. Okay? But remember, I flipped it back. Now, another way you could do this is flip it before you solve it. So if I flipped it before I solved it, I get x plus 12 is less than 21. You see, I just took it and I flipped it around. Didn't change anything. It's like I just flipped it. So I'm going to subtract 12 over on this side, subtract 12 over on this side. X is less than 9. You see that they're both the same answer. Okay, so no matter which way you do it, you always want to make sure that it's very beneficial that you put your variable to the left and your answer over here to the right. Okay, so that does it for the notes. Your homework for tonight is the 13.2. I'm going to minimize this real quick and we'll take a gander at our homework. Okay, oops. So my answers are kind of, not my answers, but all right. So looking at number 1, what I did over here was I flipped it to n minus 2 is less than 9. I added 2 to each side, so making n is less than 11. So I put a circle. My circle kind of got a little big on me right there. I guess you can make it smaller. Having some problems right there. Is at 11 and it's going to the right. Okay. I told my middle block, or actually my last block and my middle block, rewrite that number 5 and number 4 so that your variable is on the left side and your number is on the right side. Okay. Here we go with number 7. Deshaun has $53. He needs at least $76 to buy his jacket. He wants to spend no more than how much more does he need for his jacket? So at least $76. So $76 is the minimum that he can have. Well, he starts with $53. So it's J plus 53 is greater than or equal to 76. He can have more than 76. He can have exactly 76, but he cannot have below 76. And this is what this is saying right here. Kristen needs at least 500 points to earn the next trophy on her video game. She has 418 points. How many points must she earn to win the trophy? Okay, so at least, again, is greater than or equal to. So the at least, she has 500 points. So that 500 is going to go to the right. That's as least. That's the minimum she can have. She can have more than that. She can have that 500 points, but there's no way she can have under 500 points. So 418 plus P is greater than or equal to 50. And you need to figure out how many points does she still need to earn. All right. Number 9, Abba is hosting a party at a place that can hold up to 125 people. 78 people said that they're coming. How many more people can Abba invite? Okay, can hold up to 125. So less than or equal to, meaning 125 is the max. she cannot go over 125. She has to have 125 or less. So she can have 78 plus what gives me something less than or equal to 125. So you need to solve how many people she can still invite, but still be at or below the 125. So you need to solve for what P would equal. And I put P as a variable. You could have did a different variable, but I just did it as that. Number 10, you will not do. Okay, and so that does it for me today for our adding and subtracting inequalities. Make sure if you have any questions to email me. Have a great day. And quick thought of the day, because I can't even pronounce the word. Did you know some people are phobic to peanut butter because of the way it may stick to the roof of their mouth? We found that out in our last block. Have a great day. Make good choices, and we'll see you later. Bye.